Hey, welcome to the Huntsville Hustle podcast, where we celebrate stories of grit, growth, and greatness right here in Huntsville, the small business scene. And my guest today is Tim Bishop. He's the owner and CEO of Team Worldwide right here in Huntsville, Alabama. He's one of those behind the scene type businesses that are doing crucial work in our area that you might not know about. So I wanted to have him on because he's a great guy, and I look forward to learning from him and getting to know him. So, Tim, thanks for coming on.
Hey, man, Joe, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll get into that sweet jacket later, but let's start
Yeah.
here. Tell us about Team Worldwide. What do you guys do?
Well, we're a full-fledged freight forwarding company. We move stuff around the world. We do it by air, land, and sea. So if it's going, we can move it. And the neat thing about us, we're a non-asset company, meaning that we don't own and operate our own trucks. So our capacity is unlimited. We can go by air. We've got contracts with all the airlines, truckers that you see running up and down the road, contracts with them. Same way with steamship lines. Import, export. We provide that for Huntsville companies all the time. We have a shipment out on the dock right now going to the Netherlands, and it's for military demos. So when they shoot the guns and stuff like that, you don't have to use bullets, and it works with our military guys overseas. So we got that going on. But we're just moving freight every day around the world.
That's pretty awesome right there. I didn't know you had all the different areas, plane, trains, and automobiles right here. That's awesome.
There you go. I heard that.
So I know because some of my friends are probably listening. This is not Prestige Worldwide. That's a whole different business from Step Brothers. You may have heard that's a different business. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this: why did you start your business?
Well, I had been in the business for 15 years, so I had learned the business. And I told my wife, I said, I've been working for you want to call it the man, selling for other people, making money for other people. So I contacted Team Worldwide, looked at the organization, and the concept of Team is that they're looking for people like myself. Been in business 15 years. I knew the business. I felt inside and out, but I wanted to own and operate my own company. So I got with Team Worldwide. It's based out of Texas. My company is called Southern Star Express, doing business as Team Worldwide. So it's a partnership. I didn't buy into the franchise. There was no money exchanged. But what it did for me was the day I opened up, I was in business. I could ship anywhere in the world, in and out. I had all my contracts in line. I had computers brought in. We were in business. All I had to do was go out and convince local people that I already been dealing with here in town for 15 years to bring it over and to come over to Team and provide the excellent service that we do. So that's how I got started. I had to do it.
Man, that's a great way to do it. Just that turnkey franchise. Get rolling right into the business. No worry about all that other stuff. So, man, that's it right there. And you already had built those relationships, so you were hit the ground running.
Right.
So who is a good, you kind of mentioned like defense contractors. Who else is a good fit for your services?
Yeah, well, here in Huntsville, we deal with a lot of the high-tech companies. Government subcontractors, probably number one. High-tech companies, number two. We ship different type stuff. Some of the stuff is switching. We shipped a big load years ago up to the East Coast, and it was high-end computer racks. We get it up there to New York, to our office in New York, and then they started peddling it out because the company wasn't ready for all of them. So we moved 40-something up. They would move like five at a time. We found out later on that all our telephones in the East Coast and ours as well were provided by the company here locally. We didn't know that until our guys in New York said, hey, the whole East Coast, ours all the way down Alabama, Florida, all the switches that are being done was what we delivered. So that's what's cool about what we do. We've got a lot of neat stories behind it.
Oh, I bet. So, I mean, people don't think about Huntsville as kind of a hub of, if you don't know about Huntsville, you don't know that how many cool things are going on here. So what makes it so great for you to be doing business here?
Yeah, well, I like Huntsville because it's really diverse. There's all different type people from all over the world that we deal with. And they're working with companies all over the world. So that's what makes it unique. And like I said, very high tech. High tech moves stuff. And it's quickly. We move $1 million worth of product all the time. I actually had an office in Birmingham for a while. It's a different mix of business down there because they had parts. So a skid of product there might only cost $500. So it's kind of hard to charge overnight $3,000 to the West Coast for a 500-pound part. Here in Huntsville, that 500-pound skid could be worth millions of dollars. So we're just moving the product all the time, anywhere in the world, and making it happen.
Dang, that's pretty awesome right there. So there's probably a few other people that do what you do. What makes you different from your competition?
Our biggest thing is what we're doing right now. We're talking to each other. If anybody's ever dealt with UPS and FedEx, call them on the phone, internet, what are you going to get? If you get somebody on the phone, what are they going to say? They don't know nothing. All they do is go to the computer. If you call us here locally, you're going to get one of us. We're going to tell you where your shipment is. If not, we're going to make some phone calls. We're all computer based as well. Phones, all on the phone. So after hours, we're all in contact with each other. And like I said, biggest thing, we're 24/7. I was getting calls last night about shipment that we just picked up going to San Diego, some trade show product out of Birmingham. And my client called me. I was at the car wash in South Huntsville working with him on what to do because he had some issues with it. So we've got that resolved. Matter of fact, right before I got on, we're resolved. We got the tractor trailer being loaded as we speak. It's going to go on to San Diego. His problem was the graphics weren't ready. What am I going to do if they're not ready? Well, they're ready. So we had a backup plan for him. But the biggest thing is customer service, 24/7, Saturdays and Sundays. We make it happen. This past week, we got a call from a client that had a 32-pound box that it was on Saturday, had to be delivered by noon in Dallas on Sunday. So we grabbed it. My employee on call grabbed it, went to Nashville, got on Southwest flight direct to Dallas, our office in Dallas, to deliver at 8 o'clock the next morning. So our biggest thing is customer service. You're always talking to people. And when we start with a client, they start out as a client, and then we end just friendship. They're friends of ours. So it's pretty cool.
It's so valuable being able to get someone on the phone that you can talk to and work with you. If I got $1 million tied up on a shipment, I need to talk to somebody, right?
Yes, and you will. And if we need to get back with you, or if you need to call us back, you're going to get the same people. Try that with the big guys. It never happens. We know it because we got contracts as well. Sometimes we have to use them, and it's very difficult.
Yeah. That's it. So what are some other service industries you worked with over the years? You had a lot of experience doing those. Kind of some neat services you worked with over the years.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you some highlights of stuff that we've done. Years ago in Florence, Alabama, championship T-shirts. Well, I know you're a sports guy. I'm a sports guy. Well, these championship T-shirts took me about 6 months finally to get my opportunity. I get a phone call. The guy said, hey, this is your chance. Houston Rockets was doing the back-to-back championships. Houston, he said, I've got 30-something cases of T-shirts. Come get them. I got to have them delivered at 6 o'clock in the morning in Houston. So we had the time. I had a cargo van. I personally jumped in it, went to Florence. When I got there, the guy goes, didn't you bring a bigger truck? I said, you said you only had 30 cases. He goes, I had more, need 100. I said, well, let's load the van up. I drove to Nashville, caught the Southwest flight. Our office in Houston delivered at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that started that. But we've done compact discs in here when they were here in town. The Candle in the Wind that Elton John sang, we distributed all those throughout the world. Passion of the Christ, all the videos, we distributed those throughout the world. So that was pretty cool. Another neat thing, Space and Rocket Center, 6 years ago, the old rockets in the back, it's called the Rocket Garden. They were put up in 1969. We worked a year putting the project together. They needed somebody to help take them apart, put them back in the back on cradles, but they wanted to use one company, and that was us. So they said, how much? I gave them a price. They said, okay, how long? It's never been done before. I said, let's say a week. Started on Monday, 8 o'clock. Ironically, we finished at 5:30 on Friday. We took them all apart. Here's a little picture. I don't know if you can see it. There's the first ones coming apart. They have the little post. The reason why they were worried, Space and Rocket Center, they sent those lights up in there looking for cameras, and they were worried about the quality of those posts. You don't want to be looking at Space and Rocket Center, and all of a sudden, ching, fall over. So, that's some of the neat stuff that we've done throughout the years. And another quick one, though, when we had 9/11 up in New York, the stock market was affected by it. So later on that year, that was September. So December that year, we moved for a local company here in town out of Japan. We moved 4,000 monitors. That's back when they had the big 32-inch monitors out of Japan and had to deliver them before New Year's that year. And because what was happening was they were building another Wall Street across town. Nobody knew about it. We did because we were delivering it. So it's just different things that we've done. And to move freight, Huntsville's unique because it's got so much stuff going on.
Man, that's a wide variety right there. You've done a lot of everything over the years, from Passion of the Christ to monitors. I mean, that's a jump right there.
Oh, yeah.
That keeps it interesting, though. I'm sure that's pretty cool. So
we just a few minutes ago, we just got a call from a local subcontractor. We're moving a tank from We've already moved it from Anniston Army Depot down to Melbourne, and he said it's going to move on to California. So we're going to move it next Tuesday. the 22nd, from Melbourne to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, and it's a tank. It's a M577 tank. It weighs 10.8 tons. So we're scheduling. You got to have permits. You just don't pick it up and drive across country with a tank. And then the other day we moved one out of Huntsville. Other that was secret. Nobody could talk about it. We had it covered up. Two guys followed it from Huntsville down to Panama City. Don't know what it was. I couldn't tell me what it was. But, like I said, Huntsville's got some unique stuff going on.
Man, that's cool. That tank used to be like a landmark when we were traveling when I was a kid. Man, it was like the Aniston tank. I used to see it all the time. It was my landmark when I was a kid.
Right. Well, it's funny. A lot of this stuff is security and all that. We tarp it, but you can see the tracks underneath. So you see it in Huntsville, you're going, well, it's a tank. It's a tank. So
we made people wait long enough. I got to know about the jacket. Tell me about the jacket.
Oh, yeah. Well, 25 years ago, our owner in Albany, Florida. Albany, New York. I knew I get the right state. Was sitting at the airport fixing to fly out, runs against a marketing guy with U.S. Luge, Dimitri, been a great friend of mine. He was Ukrainian. That's kind of crazy. But anyhow, they were sitting there, what do you do? What do you do? He says, well, I own a freight forwarding company, transportation company. Well, I'm a marketing manager for U.S. Luge team. He goes, we're having difficulty moving the sleds around the world. We've tried to do it ourselves. We've tried other people. It don't work. And our guy, Tom, said, well, why don't you give us opportunity? So 25 years ago, leading up to the 98 Olympics in Nagano, Japan, we started handling their sleds. And you think about it, sled's about, when they put the sled in a box, it looks like a refrigerated box laid on its side. It's about the size, but it's about 6,000 pounds worth of equipment, the gear, uniforms, timing, helmets, and all that goes with it. Well, it's very important for the athletes for us to be on time because they get there 3 or 4 days in advance. They need to practice on the track. So since then, we've been doing it for 25 years, and you hear the athletes show up. They always come to our meetings. They're great friends. These are great kids. I know you're an athlete yourself, and we've had them in town many years ago, and they're super athletes. They're not your guy, the ones you see on TV or nothing. They're not multimillionaire. They don't do it for the money. They do it for the sport. And you're going 90 miles to 100 miles per hour laying on your back. You got to be dedicated. And these kids they go there when they're 12, 13 years old. They leave home, just like tennis players do. They leave home and they start learning how to be a luger. And because it's very technical, because you got to figure between a gold and a bronze medal, it's only 1/100th of a second or 2/100ths of a second. So you're talking, when you line them all up, it's just inches apart. So we've been associated with them. Like I said, this is our 25th anniversary. I've had silver and bronze medals stay at my house here in Huntsville, which is cool. We got bronze medal. I'm looking at the medals. Bronze medal from Torino, Italy. My friend Chris, he actually was on Dances with Stars, which is pretty cool. Manson, I got a picture here with this silver medal, and he just recently retired, but he got that over in Korea, and first time a medal for the singles he's ever medaled. So it's been a great organization. We're excited about it, and also we're small as companies go. We looked at NASCAR, and you just they're throwing millions at them stuff. So I've been personally supporting the U.S. Luge team out of my commission checks for 25 years, and it's been a great a lot of fun. I went to 2002 Olympics, like I said, this pen here, and we go behind the scenes. We got to go to their house, see where they lived. We got to go to ceremonies. We got to hold the medals, and it's just been great. And the Olympics, they love it. Well, their story is our sleds are always there. Germany, #1 in the world in luge, they're having to wait. So we're practicing, and they're looking at us. That's never happened, knock on wood. As far as I know, it's never happened in the whole time in 25 years. So it's cool. Great organization.
That's man. And those things are precision. You can't bang them around. You can't mess around. You got to deliver them pristine condition for sure.
Right. Yeah. When you mentioned that, I was able to actually do a luge weekend, and anybody can. But being an owner, they always, once a year, they pull their name out of the hat. And 9 years ago, I got to go up there and do the luge thing. But while I was there, there was a top engineer, him and his wife, from SpaceX. So SpaceX now, they fly the sleds out to California. They put the tunnels, they put the luge sleds and the athletes in these tunnels. And so the technology is crazy. So you got Norton here, who is the metal company. and then you got Verizon, and then this is the interview jacket that they wear on TV. So it's real cool. So they always give us stuff. I got all kinds of loot stuff.
Man, that's awesome. The only drawback, I guess, people call you a loser. Almost sounds like they're calling a loser. But other than that, man, that's
No,
awesome.
I know.
But that's a tough sport, man. You are so close to that ice, and you were going, like you said, almost 100 miles an hour. That's ridiculous.
It's crazy. Well, I tell you, if you ever get a chance to do it because you go. I called it. They start you on start 5, which I call the kiddie slope or the bunny slope, but they turn you and let you go. You go from 0 to 45 miles per hour like that. And 45 miles an hour, we as kids, we've always been sledding around Huntsville and, up on the hills and stuff. We've done some crazy things. Talking about moving, laying on your back that close to the ice, 40, 45, maybe 50 miles per hour is screaming. You're going around the curves and stuff, but they won't even let you think about going at 90. We went to the top luge, and my friends that were lugers, that now they're marketing managers and stuff now. I said, how fast are you going when you hit that corner down there? And it's a hairpin corner like this at Lake Placid, 85 miles per hour. Ooh. So talking about G-force on your face, it's unbelievable. So it's been a great relationship.
That's awesome. I would love to try that. That sounds really awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you could change one thing about our local business environment, is there anything you would change?
The biggest thing, Huntsville's, matter of fact, we're the smallest organization in the team network. We got 50 plus offices. You got your New Yorks and your Chicagos and so on, so on, so on. We're the smallest one. So in Huntsville, there's a lot of high tech. You look at Research Park and everything, but a lot of those industries, they just make software. Well, I can't ship software. I need more manufacturing. And we got, the nice Toyota and all that, but there again, being the small guy, we don't play with those. We might be able, we'll support some of their vendors. Then when they get behind, we'll do that. But I need just raw bones manufacturing, like the Adtrans of the world. Even SCI, Samina here in town, they're subcontractors. It's a big, beautiful place. But unless you're dealing with somebody somewhere else that tells them how to ship it. So I need the local manufacturing. I wish we had more of it. Just raw bones, build stuff, go out the back door, ship it from here. That's the biggest struggle that I see in Huntsville for me. As small, as a small freight forwarder.
There you go. So was there a moment throughout your business life when you're like, hey man, I think I'm going to make this business work. I think I'm doing it. Was there a moment you look back or like this is when it was kind of turning point?
Yeah. I mean, well, you're a small business owner. You get up every day and you're like, goodness, what's the day going to bring or whatever. So I don't know when it was exact moment, but it took years. And even now, even though we're successful, we're at 30 years here in Huntsville. We've got steady business all over. But when that Christmas time rolls around and it's the new year, January, my mind's like, what are we going to do this year? I know my clients. I've got clients who've been with us 25, 20. I got a client's been here in Huntsville 28 years. We just did a big show for them up in Vancouver. Then the show, I call it a show. It wasn't a show. It was all of their awards. We carried all their awards for their banquet. It was their yearly big throwdown when the president comes in and speaks and thanks everybody for a great thing. We sent a tractor trailer up there with everything in it. So we had to be there. My guy flies here from Huntsville up there. And like I said, we're loaded down. If that don't show up, they don't have their conference at all. So like I said, we're in a business. My business is, most people aren't, because I deal with it all the time. I deal with people getting behind and making mistakes. That's what we survive on. My client last night, the graphics weren't going to be ready. And he was going to say, if they're not ready, what are we going to do? And we had a plan B. Well, I just called just a few minutes ago. He said, the graphics are ready. It's going on the truck. And I just saw your truck come in to pick up. So that was cool. I like that. But anyhow, we deal with zero mistakes. We have to be 100%. We don't call in, hey, we didn't do it. We have to be 100%. And we've been able to do that and survive. And I actually personally in Huntsville been doing it 45 years. This is the only job I've ever done. Worked for other people, came on with Team Worldwide, and it's a blessing. I can't tell you how much a blessing it's been. We got great people throughout the facility, and they're all like similar to me. We get up every morning, we work hard, we're ready to go. We want to support clients here in town. And like I said, it really, really is the ones that's been with us for a while. They started as clients. I consider them friends. They are our friends, so it's been cool.
Yeah, I get it, man. A small business owner, those are the people putting a roof over your head and food on the table. Hey, it means a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's been, like I said, a blessing for us. It surely has.
So if you look back, is there a habit or routine that you do that's kind of helped you become successful?
I think the biggest thing is, and that one of the biggest thing is people will not buy from you anything unless they like you. You got to be presentable in that. And once you get that opportunity, then you really got to come through. I don't have nothing to hand to anybody. We're just strictly service. So when I tell somebody we can do it, I know we can do it, but I'm not leaving them a sample. I'll be back Friday to see how you like it. It's pure service. So, and that's the biggest thing. And somebody told me a long time ago, but people won't buy from you unless they like you, but also build a rapport. You got to build a rapport with people. People have to like you and build that rapport. They might not ship with you. Like I said, the client over in Florence took 6 months to eventually get that opportunity. And we got the opportunity. I kept it for 4 years until they closed the plant down in Florence and they moved it to Kentucky. And our office up there kind of took over. But for 4 years, we were dead on it. But that's the thing, you build a rapport with people and you continue that rapport. We do it every day. So I think that's one of the biggest things.
Well, that's huge. I mean, in your business, relationships are huge. So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of goes into my next question. I know you're a big relationship guy. You've got a lot of people you've met with over the years. Who's someone you'd like to help to help you become successful over the years when you look back? Probably a lot of people since you've been in business so long, but if you could pick a few out, who do you think?
Yeah, the number one that comes to mind is my dad. He helped me get started because when I decided to do it, I mean, very little money, really no money.
Yeah.
So I went to him. He was retired lieutenant colonel. He had been to Vietnam. He had been to Korea and all over the world. He was retired. He worked another 20 years in sales, selling for Cleveland Cotton Products, a disposable rag, and was very successful in it. He had just retired. So I called him up and said, Dad, this is what I want to do. Can you help me? He goes, I don't know nothing about the business. I said, Dad, I just need you to come in and answer the phone. You work from 8 to 12, and then you go home. I can't do both. I need to go out and see people. So I felt like Superman for a while. I come in with my suit and tie back in the day, 30 years ago, suit and tie. Go out and see people. I come in and change back down, drop down into, if you want to call it warehouse clothes, just normal clothes. He would go home. I'm on the phone again. I never stopped on the phone. All of a sudden, the shipments started coming in, and we started growing. So he helped me out until I could hire somebody in and out stuff. So he would be the number one. And I miss him greatly because he passed years ago. Surely do. But anyhow, other people in mind, sales managers, Jim Crum comes to mind before I started team. He was one of the people that taught me how to sell. Because like I said, you go in there and you talk to people, you get back in the car, how'd it go? You think he's going to ship with you? Well, he said he was. No, he's not. I guarantee you're not going to get anything. And that's where you look back in your career of who put you. Because if it wouldn't have been for, like I said, a Jim Crum in my life, I'd just be out there just doing it because I didn't know what I was doing in sales when I first got in it because I was actually very young, like 22 years old. But I would think, and then I've had other people in the industry same way. Even Joe Brunson, the founder of our company. It was him and his son that started it with just the idea of people like ourselves. They started with just the two of them. One went to Dallas and one went to Houston. And then they started going and going. In 15 years, when I started with them, we just had 11 offices. And now we have over 40 and 190 affiliates around the world. And Joe Brunson, like I said, Joe Brunson is one of the biggest things he always said. He says, look at the man in the mirror. Look at the man in the mirror. So, yeah, he was good. He said, you're always as strong as your weakest link because we're all a team. You got to be a team. So that was pretty cool.
That's it. Yeah, I mean,
So,
you got to have those mentors and people help you along the way. We've all had them along the way. So I like to give people a chance, give them a little shout out, especially your
right.
dad.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, man. Dad's always there for you. That's cool. So,
Yeah.
and you look at our local business community. Is there someone you admire, a business owner you admire around here?
Well, I wouldn't say a business owner. He used to be a business owner because I knew him when he was. I like Tommy Battle. I think he's done a great job with Huntsville.
Yeah.
I mean, look where we've gone since he's been there. I knew Tommy back when his family owned Britlin's Cafeteria. So we didn't know each other, but I can remember him helping me at the table. So he was working hard in that industry. And then I played tennis with him. He was always a captain, and I played on his tennis team. And when he ran for mayor and he became mayor, he still plays, but he don't play the league no more. I think he's got a pretty important job managing the city. But look where we've come since he's been. So I really admire what he has done, for Huntsville. It's growing like crazy. Some people say, hey, it's not the little town, whatever. And we have traffic. I used to laugh because we'd go to cities and meetings and say, hey, I don't have no traffic in Huntsville. We got traffic now. So I would say Tommy, yeah, he's a great guy.
It's been unreal from, when he came in office where we are now, man. You look back, it's been a heck of a run.
Right. So, yeah.
So if someone came to you and they're, hey, I'm thinking about starting a small business, you've already given us kind of some nuggets of like, what would you give some advice? You give someone, hey, I'm going to start a small business. What would you tell them?
Tell them the biggest thing is hold on, because you better be ready to go to work. Because when I first started, I remember one time I was really just hoping if I could get 4 hours of sleep. I couldn't get any sleep. I was exhausted. I was working 7 days a week because we're doing shipments all over the world, different time zones. We're dealing with, Europe, and Australia and all this other stuff. I'm tracking shipments and working with clients, and I wouldn't get any sleep. We were getting up with compact disc 5 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning to catch 5:30 Delta flight. So we could deliver it by noon in LA. So we were doing that, weekend works and stuff. But you got to be ready to work. Some people, and I've hired some people to come in here and be my general manager. I won't maybe one day take it over or whatever. No, they just wanted a card that says president on it. President, owner, president. I don't have that. I don't have that. I'm not big into that. But that's what they wanted. They wanted that title, but not to work for it. When you start a small business, like I said, you 24/7. I've missed Thanksgivings, working on shipments, moving shipment to Canada to Mexico same day. I miss Thanksgiving dinner because I'm outside in the front yard on my cell phone working with the local client here in town. But you got to be willing to give that up, and if you don't work hard, you won't make it. You won't make it. So, and as things go on, you hire more people, which the flexibility is a lot better. I got a great staff here, so I have more time than I used to. But at the beginning, like I said, you got to go to work. Got to work every day.
Yeah, there's a reason a lot of those businesses fail in those first 2 years. It ain't for the weak.
No, it's not. Not at all.
I get it, man. That sleep thing. I was saying I was working 3 jobs when I started my business.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So but you got it. If you got the dream, man, and you're willing to put in the work, it's amazing what can happen if you're. Yeah. But like I said, people see you now and you're successful and you're doing well. They're like, man, he's got it easy now.
No.
They don't see the behind the scenes. They don't see your day to day and all that you've put behind the scenes. So people listen right now. How can they follow you? What's your website? And how they can connect with you?
Right. Our national website is teamair.com. And if somebody would like to email me direct, it's tim.bishop@teamww.com. And it come right here to my little laptop computer. And then also, too, on LinkedIn. You can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm not a big poster or whatever, but I'm on it every day. I saw you this morning with the T-shirt. I can't remember what it said, but I can't remember what it said. But anyhow, it was cool.
Yeah, so I'm a fitness guy, so I like to guarantee. You make guarantee for your customers that you're going to deliver them. So my guarantee is results guaranteed or your old body back. So you guarantee shipments on time. My guarantee is not as good as yours, but
right.
Yeah, coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Just the wisdom of being so many years in business and local business about those relationships. And hey, it's going to take hard work.
Right,
that's what it is. I appreciate you coming on here and sharing some more about what you guys do. I think a lot of people don't know what you do, so it's cool to share that.
Right. Well, Joe, I appreciate it very much, and thanks for having me on. It's been great.
Absolutely, yeah. The deluge is going to mean a lot more next time.
Oh yeah, when you see it, it'll be the whole thing. And also here's the picture. It's going to show you. You got to look for right there is our logo.
See,
worldwide. So
that's what I'll be looking for.
There you go. All righty, you take care.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys next week on the Huntsville Hustle podcast.